Welcome to his house, where we gon' run our mouth, while sipping purty, that's purty, yeah, that's on me. What's up, my purties? How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? Okay, so we're here to talk about the Clarence, Chris, Queen Naja, DDG, T.O.P. Way, and what Dub said some prime. Uh Chris' brother. Who else had something to say? Dang. Um, yeah, I think that's my situation. They're gonna all be mentioned briefly. Queen. Did I say Queen? Probably did. In this situation. So that's hilarious, y'all. It's hilarious. And yeah, I know y'all been waiting on this topic, this tea or whatever. I had to put it out there. But I obviously got to tread lightly because this is apparently a suing family, allegedly. Because, like Clarence said, if you use certain clips of his videos and stuff that he don't post and he don't ordain, he gonna try to mark your channel. And then we have Queen over here wearing shirts talking about I'll see you in court. Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, if you knew how I knew, y'all won't be doing none of that because you know that it wasn't worth it. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to get into it. So let's go straight to the chase. So I had did a video over the fact that I saw, in my opinion, that Clarence had cheated on Queen. But to me, was it a surprise? No, because allegedly this may or may not be his first time. And knowing the stuff that I've found out recently and allegedly the information I've heard, it probably wasn't the first time. And it probably won't be the last time. And I'm not mad. Okay. But at the end of the day, but that's alleged. It hasn't been confirmed, and it's definitely not going to ever be confirmed out his mouth. And apparently, anybody around him is going to be having NDAs on top of NDAs on top of NDAs, so we may never know. So at the end of the day, Chris came out and said him doing that and didn't show that he had feelings for Queen or whatever. And I get it, because when you move on, you have to move on. It ain't like they kikiing, ha-haing on the phone or nothing. But I also feel like he gonna always have respect for Queen, because that's like the mother of his kids and the stuff that they built together. And then the fact that through their divorce and all that, probably, he had to pay her something, and whatever. So some of that money that whenever that went to him, because I'm thinking about that scene where he was crying about the car incident. I didn't think it was about the car. I just think about the fact that I didn't know it, but apparently he was controlling most of the money, because when she went to Clarence or whatever, she was talking about the fact that Chris had control of most of the money. So when they split, his money wasn't just his no more, and I'm sure he was probably saving that, retaining that money for this, that, and this and that. But then he got to pay child support or whatever, allegedly. Maybe not. Most people do. And so a lot of the money that he did have for this or whatever may have had to go to her, because apparently Clarence is a smarter man than people give him credit for. And he gonna probably make sure that happened, especially if you don't like a person. Oh yeah, you going for all the moolah. But it's good to know that Chris has rebranded himself, rebuilt himself to where he's doing really well for himself. I mean, his place looks really, really nice. Okay, so jumping right into it. So that has died down or whatever. But recently, like I said, Queen has had a shirt on talking about I'll see you in court. Like, wow, that's crazy. Okay. But people were probably like, they wanted Clarence to speak, but allegedly Clarence kind of did speak, because his friends were speaking for him, which is low key, a little crazy, because I'm sorry. First of all, did he put y'all on a payroll? That's what I want to know, because all these people had so much to say about Chris, just because Clarence do this. And they said, how high? You want me to jump? How motherfucking high? So we had Dub going in on Chris, talking about this, talking about this, talking about he was broke, talking about this. And Dub and Chris, I don't even think have really been in the same room together. But Dub stopped what he was doing because allegedly behind the scenes, Clarence hit him up and was talking about the situation. No, you didn't see Clarence physically talking about the situation, but through his homies, he apparently he was talking about the situation because his homie just probably because Dub in his video did mention the fact that, you know, my boy asked me should he say something or whatever. I think he should speak on the video, and he kept saying like I think he should speak on it. So if he said he think he should speak on it, that means he had talked to somebody who had mentioned the fact of him speaking on it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was just Clarence running scared. To be honest, like, this is just my opinion, folks. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. My opinion, all alleged. To me, it seemed like Clarence was checking his stilo. Like, if this go wrong, am I gonna still have the fame and the clout and the people around me that I once knew? So let me hit up Dub, because you know DDG, Dub, they come in a package allegedly, right? So he was like talking to oh yeah, DDG did a video too. So Clarence apparently got the dudes on the payroll. Not, but they definitely doing his dirty work, like some jump how high, you know how high, do it. Yeah. Bring them girls out. But anyway, so apparently he ain't just got a control on the women. Apparently he got some control on the man too, baby. He doing his light work. Yeah. Like that. Just like that. Doing his light work. Yeah. Oh, let me stop. Tea on me. All right. So, yeah. So before, who did it first? Dub or DDG? I think it was DDG. That's probably why Dub got into it. DDG was crazy with his. Talking about to be honest, that video was so hilarious to me. The editing was so perfect to me. But hey, I'm not a perfect editor, obviously, but I don't give a who cares? But it's coming one day when I really care. Maybe I'll put, yeah. But anyway, so he was just talking about how bad Chris editing was and this and this and that. He didn't say too much about whatever, just saying that he thought that Chris had a problem, this and that, which is crazy to me, low key, in a crazy kind of way. Like, he was really up here acting like Chris had a mental. Now that was a bit much. Like, I feel like he talked to Clarence too, and they were just on this thing like, you know, I can't say nothing because this dude dared me to say something. He gonna release all this mess. So he just had his homeboys do his light work for him. So they was talking hecka grimy about a dude that wasn't even speaking on them. So apparently there was conversations had, or because, and the crazy part is you don't see Clarence with DDG. You don't see Clarence with Dub. You don't see Clarence with Primetime Hitler, but they made sure that they spoke their piece about Chris and how of a he should have kept his mouth shut. He wouldn't pee for this. He wouldn't pee for that. But y'all on the motherfucking payroll, but y'all not. Okay, so they need to tread lightly with that, because that looked a little girlfriendish, if I may say so myself. Because the beef was between Clarence and Chris. So you mean it takes is to make a phone call and be like, look, I don't like what was said. Get on this boy, get on his head, and you know, this and that. And you know, apparently, if we're gonna be cheating together, allegedly, y'all gotta ride for me like I'm gonna ride for y'all when it's your time. Because Dub just get on the platform and he like, everybody I know cheat. Apparently. So if you know he hanging out with Dub, apparently he over there cheating. So yeah, just know what you working with. That's it. That's all. And he was like, if people cheat, you know, they normally just stop talking for a minute and they start sorry, start back talking the way he did. That was hilarious. Then okay, Primetime Hitler. What Primetime Hitler said? Primetime was like, okay, I don't think you should just say anything because he talking about he gonna spill the tea. But if you ain't got nothing to hide, then let him spill the tea, right? So that speaks a lot of volume. That says a lot of the fact that maybe it could have been some truth, that there was some more tea spilt, or could have been spilled, because he absolutely did not say nothing, right? But then people are like, well, he didn't have to say nothing because it wasn't true, right? But apparently if it was may have been some truth to it, because allegedly he was talking to somebody. He talked to Dub, he talked to DDG, allegedly behind the scenes, talked to Prime enough to get them to make a video about the alleged situation and to come in on it and make Chris feel like a piece of, even though Chris really didn't care, right? I mean, they was talking crazy about the dude. Even Prime was talking about he was talking about pulling up, which was crazy. And some of them did multiple videos, which was crazy. And then Chris' brother did a video. Which is kind of crazy, but I mean, I feel like he should, because he wasn't gonna get into it. All these other people had stuff to say about his family, and even T.O. had something to say, which is crazy. Because first of all, I really don't feel like Chris should have said nothing about baby mama Brittany, because like, what does she have to do with that? I thought that was low. That was like the only thing I was like, okay, that was crazy. But let's see, his brother was like. His brother was like, so DDG may put you on the chopping block, so be careful, yada yada yada. He said it to a separate person. I had thought it, but I didn't say it. The fact that he said it and I had thought it, that was crazy. Excuse me, dang. Yeah, I could have edited it out, but why not leave it in there? But yeah, as far as him trying to warn somebody, I feel like ain't no warning needed. Like, if that was the case, like, he'll pick up on it for real. But that was funny. Anyway, but hopefully that's not the case, obviously. But anyway, so yo, speaking of T.O., why is T.O. making threats to Chris? Like, for real. When did T.O. become a hitman out here in these streets? Let me know, because I never knew. That would be the last thing on my mind, that he was a hitman. And because people are threatening to spill receipts, you think that, like, you want to make threats, because every time Chris going live, people talking about T.O. about to get you. T.O. got you on live. T.O. Man, if you don't, man, let me stop. I didn't know T.O. had that much dang time on his hand, and I definitely didn't think he was he was on that time. Like, he don't give me that impression, but if he on that time, then I'm going to just crack up later. That's all I'm saying. I cracked up before, and I'm going to just crack up later. I didn't know. I think T.O. doing too much, because it ain't like he did drop receipts. But if he do drop receipts, like, really, you going to mess up your whole life? That's crazy. Like, you may need to sit down just a little bit. That's crazy. But anyway, so, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, he friends with Jay Cinco now. Oh, okay. Is that why? Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Anyway. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about the fact that, apparently Dub used to be in a gang, allegedly. Which is crazy, because according to Mama DDG, she said that Brittany used to put them hands on him. But it's cool. I was going to do a video about that, but nah, I might as well just talk about it here. But, of course, he can't put his hand on no females, in his defense. But, yeah, Brittany straight dropped Aries. Yeah, and in that video, Mama DDG was like, yeah, Brittany used to whoop Dub. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I thought he was a thug. I thought he was a gangster, but behind the scenes he was getting beat. Okay. But anyway, so I don't know. But apparently, he had plenty to say about Chris. But anyway, it's just what it is. Chris is definitely not falling off. I feel like Chris is a smart man to know that it's more important things to spend your money on than clothes that you can burn up or throw away in a year. Like, I feel like he just invests his money a little bit differently. And if it was fake money, it was fake money. If it wasn't fake money, why y'all check locking his money? Like, at the end of the day, just because he put fake money because he trolling don't mean he don't got the real money behind the scenes. Just like some people don't need to be knowing your business. To be honest, they'll let them think you got fake money. That's what they need to think, right? But the crazy part is, let's speak on Clarence for a little bit. Wait, no, I guess we got to go to Mod. Yo, then I was like, Ma would know the tea on if Clarence really done did whatever. Because apparently, what the heck? How he go from Patty to Mod? That's what I'm trying to figure out. His name used to be Patty. Like Patty Cake. When he was with Chris and Mod and they was living and hanging together or whatever. But now he's called Mod. Just do a video on how that changed. Please let me know. And it's so crazy because Clarence is that Nika for real, because he ain't talked to Mod in 2 years. He been jocking Mod for 2 years. Now he got Mod doing diss videos on Chris's music, Chris's videos, just Chris's whatever. Mod, you was not even thought about 2 months ago, Nika, and you asked this dude for some money and he straight ratted you out with some tears in his eyes talking about you was asking him for some money. Dude, you a broke Nika according to him, and he put you on Front Street in front of everybody about it. But all of a sudden that's your broski again, the broski that allegedly people said he done did you so wrong, but all of a sudden you got his back because he may send you a couple coins and he jump in your DM real quick or whatever, and you think you back on and to do his dirty work. That's it. you get pimped out again, allegedly, because I can't even say what I was gonna say, bro. But if some of that stuff that I would say, maybe I'll say it one day. But if you do what I gotta know, you probably wouldn't even be doing all that. According to Per T. But it's all good. You know, you supposed to, because at the end of the day, you need all the friends you can get. And damn, if the only friend you can get is a friend like Clarence, I'm going to pray for your partner. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, damn. We gonna see how many months y'all cool this time. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause dang, you weren't even thought about. And the crazy part is you haven't even been in a video with said dude in years. That's crazy. Anyway, got him doing your dirty work and you ain't even in the video. Got him doing your dirty work and he ain't even in the video. Aww, Per T on me. Yeah, got it like that. Man, Clarence got these folks running in circles. I ain't mad at them. For real, because damn. Let me get like you. For real. No, I don't want to do that because I don't want that stuff to backfire on me. You know. But anyway, but to be honest, what I was going to say before I'm going to say what I was going to say, if you knew the tea that I really had, that I really can't speak on right now because of the fact that it's going to come out eventually. Not necessarily by me, but it's going to come out eventually. People going to really see what's really going on. And to be honest, if they would have really heard the tea that I heard, they would even have spoke on this situation for real. At all. Now, mine might have because, you know, keep hope alive. You know what I'm saying? That was his... Anyway, I ain't gonna speak on that. But the other dudes, nah, they wouldn't even spoke on the situation for real. They would have had a whole nother conversation for real. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part, because once I heard that tea, baby, it changed everything. I was like, oh, for real? I knew, but I know now. You know, I knew, but I don't know now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the crazy thing is, it's like, if once that tea came out, that I See You in Court shirt would be burnt up. Chris might be thought about. Because it ain't looking too good in a situation of Queen and Clarence about that tea that I know. And it don't have nothing to do with the tea about the escapades. It ain't even about that. It's deeper than that. It's darker than that. It's grimy than that. It's crazier than that. And it's funnier than that. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. So let's talk about the topic in general, just overall, because I've been trying to figure out, was the trip planned before the incident, or was it like a spur of the moment? Like, let's go out of town, let's vacation. Because as soon as that video and stuff hit, Clarence and Queen took a vacation trip out of town, out of the country, and they wasn't really heard of for a while. And allegedly, Clarence was putting that work in, baby doll, like he ain't worked it in a while. He putting that mother freaking work in, still putting that work. Well, I ain't gonna say still, but he was putting that work in. And you know, they seemed like they had a good vacation. Allegedly, some things sucked on that. Maybe some fingers, hands, or whatever, Well, who knows? And screaming guilty pleasures, singing guilty pleasures. Yeah. And you know he was putting that work in. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because if the trip was not prepared beforehand, then that just means he was doing that trip to cover his back, make amends, put in that work to ease her mind, and let her know what she got. And that would seem to me the actions of a guilty party. But I could be wrong. Now, if the trip was already planned months before, then that could mean that none of that. But if it wasn't planned, that seemed to me like, baby, I'm sorry, I'm gonna make it up to you, or baby, let me get your mind off it. Because to be honest, they was gone for a good 2-3 days, maybe 4, and the whole time Chris is dropping videos over this, dripping videos over this. It's like, even if she wanted to watch them, she can't watch them because she with her man, you know, whatever. And he gonna make sure she ain't watching no dumb stuff that, you know, he don't want her to watch. So I don't know, that sound kind of suspicious to me. And then on the cool, like, you know, that picture got linked, but was it linked or was it linked? You feel me? Like, look what my man do for me. You feel me? Like, that's what he putting in. Yeah. But girl, ain't really nothing else to show. We already know he licked crevices in other places. That's all we need to know. Ain't really nothing else you can really show us at this point. He locked in. But is he? Okay, so yeah, that's that. And it's crazy because for the longest they weren't even making no videos for real. So Chris out here saving relationships. And I was gonna say marriages, but Chris out here saving relationships and stuff like that because they spending more time together. They doing videos together now, and they was going months and months and months and months and months without putting out content. You know, I've done that before. I've saved a couple relationships in my day, and I love that for me. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you can save and bring two people together because of you, that's the best thing ever, right? Let people know what they missing or not. Okay, so yeah, the trip seemed good, vacation seemed nice or whatever. But to be low, let's get to the nitty gritty of the situation. that may or may not be televised. Because if you ask me, I still feel like Clarence was worried. So much so he wanted to check in with his old boys to make sure that they had his back, made sure that they spoke on it, because he couldn't, because if he would have spoke on it, it would have looked like he was doing what Chris told him not to do, and then videos would have been put out on him. And that's just my opinion. Because then, like, I talked to Chris, Clarence, Chris, Queen, T.O., nobody. It's just my opinion, so everything is alleged. And take it with a grain of salt. All right. And then on top of that, if he just decided to take on her trip away to get her mind off of it, that also kind of says guilty conscience too, right? Then on top of that, they get home. He doesn't make any statement about said incident at all. I don't know if because Chris had him in check once again, like he had with Leslie, and he didn't speak on that, but allegedly he didn't want to speak on it, and Chris did make a threat of, I will spill all this motherfucking tea on me. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he didn't speak on it at all, but he took her on a trip and he allegedly talked to other people about it, obviously it was more on his mind than he let on, is all I'm saying. And he had his other people, I would say ragdolls, doing his dirty work for him. But it's cool. That's cool, right? But they're not really ragdolls. I'm just saying hypothetically, like they was dolls. Like they did his dirty work. Like they did the work for him. But it didn't appear like they feel like they was attacking him. But it was only because he really talked to him. Because if you listen to Dub's video and Prime's video, it was obvious that he had talked to them. And I guess he talked to DDG too, because to be honest, if he pop off, he got to make sure his circle is still tight. If Queen is low key putting him on and he fall off for her, and he got to make sure he's still good, if that makes sense. Dang, it took me a lot to get that out. Okay. So he didn't speak on it at all. He didn't give no apology. You didn't have to even speak on it. You could have just been like, I apologize for all this stuff you had to endure, that you had to hear. He didn't do none of that. He just took her on the trip. That's it. Which was sweet for, a little bit. But in that song, Affirmations, which I will say I like the song. To be honest, I like the song a lot. It was a hit. Pretty. Tell me I'm pretty when you take me on. Let me stop. But yeah. Pretty. Tell me I'm pretty. I can't even sing it today. But the other day I was singing the heck out of that song. I ain't gonna lie to you. That song is cool. It's cool. But anyway, so with that being said, on her song, I think it was one of her songs, if not the affirmation song, I think it was on that song. But she was saying she don't really care about the money, the cars, the bling, like make her feel and like she's special, make her hear through affirmation that she's special. So, to be honest, I feel like Queen has taken everything in. I feel like it has bypassed her brain cells. And she's thinking and she's observing and she's watching, because there was some things done in the video that kind of, and that I've seen to let me know, like she's still wondering in the back of her mind that it could have been some truth to it, or was it some truth to it, and she's just trying to see what Clarence, how he's going to move in the situation. But I really feel like it was kind of disrespectful to not apologize publicly. But you can make videos over Casanat, who allegedly has the incident took place. You can take her on a trip or whatever. But no public apology. I found that to be a little bit like, I don't really care for real. I don't just, and it also was giving the vibes like he was trying to put out like, she gonna roll with me regardless. Like I don't have to do too much. She gonna be here regardless. But the crazy part is, that's what I feel like the image has been put up about Queen, like she gonna be here because she want to be here with me. But in reality, Clarence ain't going nowhere. So whatever Queen did, Clarence is not going nowhere right now. So she can literally do whatever. Clarence is not going nowhere right now, but I feel like he's making her feel like she ain't going nowhere. So, which she may not. I don't know. She apparently is saying that's her man. But I feel like when it comes to women, you know, money, cars, trips, that's one thing, but it's also behind the scenes is another thing. And it's giving me very much, you know, unimpressed. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know, with men, sometimes with women, they'll love bomb you to get you out of your fields, and then they'll back off. And that's the thing to look at. How is he going to treat you from this day forward? And I feel like reacting to videos and stuff like that dealt with the sad situation, because allegedly that went to the incident happened at an amp party or amp situation, and the fact that it was not even acknowledged, but he's reacting to videos over that, it's crazy. But the kicker would be, if she really forgive him, is if she let him go to another party, because Clarence reacted to the recent pool party, I think that happened at Amp or whatever. Now that was a little disrespectful, just a little bit, because it was giving me very much, I wanted to be there. You know, Clarence wanted to be at that Amp party. You know, he wanted to be there. And if this allegations hadn't came out, he probably would have been. But I'm sure Queen was looking at him like, I know you mother freaking lying. If you think you about to go through that pool party and all these stuff has come out. But look, it's only really been like a month since this came out. You think, and the fact that he's interested in going again, that just really shows how he really feel about the situation. And do I feel like he thinking like, no, it's not true? I feel like he's thinking like, no, she ain't going nowhere. And it could be very much true. But like, I do feel like he's nervous because of some of the actions that I've seen, and he not sure. But he also feel like she ain't going nowhere. But I also feel like with her, she is observing and she's watching what he's doing, not just what he's saying. And she may or may not go somewhere, depending on how he acts. You know, because at the end of the day, if you're thinking about still partying it up with the same people and allegations, and in the back of her mind, she may or may not think it's true, even though she's playing cordial, because at the end of the day, I do feel like she has some embarrassment going on. Obviously, she's trying to sue and stuff like that. So, yeah, obviously some feelings was hurt there. And it's crazy that Clarence can get people allegedly to do his dirty work. He don't have to lift the fifth finger. That's crazy. And the crazy thing is, when this is all blown over, because at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna say too much, but I really don't see them together for the long haul. I never really did. But at the same time, I'm gonna speak on that at another time. And with the T that I really just saw on me, once that hits the fan, it's gonna shut everybody down, including Mod, including the Pews that had so much to say, including Queen. And she probably be like, oh, I wish I had went back to Chris. You know, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that her and Chris interact in that way. I'm just saying, like, I feel like he probably would have been a better fit. Even though he cheated or whatever, I feel like he's a better fit than Clarence. But to be honest, I will say this. Clarence has helped Queen step her stuff up. She's leveled up as far as her appearance, her look, her style, due to Clarence. Because to be honest, the way she's looking now compared to how she was looking with Chris, it's different. It's a little different. However, people do grow into their features. People do grow into their bodies. People do grow and change, and they get better over time and evolve. So I don't necessarily know if it was Clarence or just the fact that she's just getting more mature. But she looks really good compared to, because when, you know, allegedly they're saying that he wasn't really feeling her back then, and he rated her kind of low. But now I feel like he would rate her a little bit higher, and I feel like that's because they've been in a relationship, just to be honest. And I ain't mad at it, you know, because she's looking decent. Okay, so the another thing that I'm tripping about is, okay, there was a whole stilo done on Chris, to where this girl and her boyfriend was recording him, and he was going off on Mama, Queen Mama, and all this stuff that popped out, which is crazy to me. And it's so crazy because it's kind of like Clarence had played a part in that too, which is alleged. But it really seemed like these people knew him in some way, and they wanted to take that information back to him. And the crazy thing is, Clarence, that boy, he apparently got motion. Because not only did he get the address of Chris, this and that, where he is in his new place, this and that, because I think when, because it's not like they come to his house. So it's kind of like nobody really know where he stays. But everybody know now. Because, I don't know if you know, but on the trip, I wasn't going to post a clip, but I ain't going to do it. But one of the stories, Clarence had his finger under his nose, kind of like that slime. So it was kind of giving me like, this ain't over, if that makes sense. And then a little bit after that, Dub had posted a video, and he had mentioned the fact that Chris's address was leaked. And then T.O. said, I'm on you. Then the girl comes up to really discredit Chris and be like, even though I feel like he really didn't say nothing that people didn't, know or feel. It probably came off a little insensitive, but he was just speaking. And it's crazy because I've done that before in my young days. I just would have diarrhea of the mouth, henceforth why I got a platform now to talk about it, because I be talking too much. But I guess because I'm a person, when you a person that you got to keep to yourself, when you get somebody you think that's really for you and stuff like that, I used to just be spilling the gums, and then I'd be like, why'd I do that? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he learned his lesson, that, because to be honest, yes, that could have been looked at like, okay, my son could have been put in jeopardy, but at the end of the day, he got to have girls if he's a single man. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't really tell them your house address. I would try to give them your hotel address, because at the end of the day, you don't know who Clarence people know and this and that. To be honest, I know for a fact people that don't like me have sent people to me to talk to me because they can't talk to me. That's just how it is. It's a sad, sad world. That's how it is. Yeah, but it happens. And so if they really got his address, if they really wanted to do something, nothing really stopping them from doing that is what I'm saying. Because I don't really feel like Clarence is just going to let this slide, especially if he had that finger under the nose. And shortly after that, that's when Dub said, that's his address. Like, he had the street and everything. And then after he talked to the girl, that would have confirmed what his actual address was. So to be honest, if people really wanted to find Chris and roll up on him, they could do that. That's crazy. That's the craziest part of it all. And, but at the end of the day, the fact that stuff came out, the information with him talking freely, hopefully he'll realize you can't just trust everybody in the street. And now, people with good hearts, you tend to trust people, but shit, in life, in my older age, I realized, shoot, I can't even trust my own family. And so it's crazy. It's crazy what people do for $1 a book, a laugh. So yeah, that's my synopsis of it. Clarence is being on his best behavior because he don't want no problem. He probably want to go to another party, and he probably can't wait, allegedly. But Queen ain't gonna really have that right now. But he's been on his best behavior. Queen, is just saying what it is. But if they break up, she could care less. Or if they stay together, she probably care less. Depends on what he's trying to do. But at the same time, I also feel like Chris gotta watch his back, get some cameras, make sure his, house is secure, because apparently people might be looking for him, and they know his addy. It's just crazy. But at the end of the day, it's all good. You can't really be mad. It just is what it is. And will we ever hear that tea spilled about Clarence? It is what it is. Who knows? If they're talking about going to court, maybe not. Maybe they'll put some cease and desist or whatever. I don't know. But at the same time, it's a free world C platform. Just like he may not have spoke fully about it, that doesn't mean somebody else can't do the dirty work for Chris if needed to be. But who knows? So it's a way around anything. You just gotta get smart into the part. But hopefully nobody will be injured in this situation. And it probably won't even be this year that something will take place. If somebody was really looking for Chris like that, because apparently there's been threats put on him. But it probably won't be this year. But the crazy part is nobody should know your address. Nobody should even feel the need to get that serious over receipts. That's crazy. But apparently it is what it is. Some people just don't play them games for real. It's crazy. Y'all be safe out there. Well, peeps up for tea, and that's on me. All is allegedly, that's per tea. They say that we purty, you like when you do dirty. It's so thirsty, sipping that purty. Per tea, it's so freaky dirty. Body getting bigger, like stick figures.